Oh, good afternoon. So today I'll be discussing to you the lesson 5 execution and business plan. So I hope that at the end of this topic or at the end of this presentation, we all learn how to define what is execution plan, to differ between execution plan and business plan, and to identify what are the types of business plan and how to design a forecasting plan. Okay, so this topic is quite long, so I'll be discussing to you few major points only. Anyway, you have this copy. You just need to read and understand each statement that belongs to major topics in this execution and business plan. So what is an execution plan? That would be our part one. So when it comes to planning a new business or launching a new endeavor, an execution plan is where the pedal hits the metal. Okay, so what do you mean by execution plan? So there are in every sectors of the business, may it be academe, may it be manufacturing sectors, or any other type of sectors, we need to have an execution plan for us to be guided on how we are going to do with our business. So let's say for example in the academe, when you say execution plan, so let's say for example we have the syllabus. I know you're quite familiar with the syllabus already. So in the syllabus, it is an execution plan of a teacher or of an instructor. So the syllabus contains the topic from prelim to final exam. In the topic, there is specific activities, specific methods on how we are going to conduct each topic. So those are execution plan. That's what we call our execution plan. So when we also consider a bigger plan, so we have the whole school plan. So let's say for example, August will be the enrollment, and then we have prelim, midterm, semifinal, final, and final exam, and so many other major activities. So if we have the normal type of conducting of classes, we have intramurals, we have graduation, and so on and so forth. So those are the execution plan. So it is important to have an execution plan so that the business will be guided on what to do next. That is an execution plan. So there are three essential components of an execution plan. We have the milestone, the task, and then the budget. So what is a milestone? When you see a milestone, it is a key business goals. So these are the goals that should be missed one or your business endeavor will fail. So in every business, or may it be small scale business or big scale business, everything that the business should have is a milestone, because a milestone will be your guided principles on how you are going to have your what will your business, what's the future of your business. Say, let's say for example, um, your milestone as a student, your milestone will be to graduate in 3 to 4 years, or at most 2 years because you're second year now. So that's your milestone. So what are you going to do to fulfill that goals or to fulfill that milestone of yours? So that is what is task is all about. So when you see task, those are specific things you need to do in order to reach each milestone. So if you consider your business plan or your goal is to graduate in 2 to 3 years, of course you need to take all the subject from first years, first sem and second sem, second year, first sem and second sem, and so on and so forth. So those are specific. When we go to more specific tasks, that is, you need to complete the requirements of each subject for you to be able to pass the subject, so that you can go to the next subject or the prerequisite subject. So that's your task. So when you say business, so the milestone of your business will be the 3 to 4 years development plan. So let's say for example, your goal in 2 to 3 years will have your business expand to other places. So that's your goal. So what's your task in order to do that? Those are the specific things that you need to do in order to achieve those goals. Now, in order for you to materialize or to actualize all the milestone and the task for your business, you need to have the fund, you need to have the money in order for you to do that. So usually in a school, we have to set the budget a year before, a year, a year before. So let's say for example, we last August we already made a budget for the 2021. So if you notice, like the Congress or so many other government agencies, all the budget for 2021 must be already realized sa 2020 pa lang. Okay, that's why in the TV you all have witnessed the rebuttal or the battle of the passing or the approval of the budget 2021, just like what happened to the congressman. Okay, so even if the small scale businesses, if you have the milestone that you need to achieve and the task you'd have to do in order to achieve those milestones, you need a budget for you to do that. You need to assess how much will be, how much you need to spend in order to actualize or in order to realize those milestones. Okay, so the milestone will be the activities or the goals that you need to make for your business. The tasks are the action that you need to do in order for you to realize your milestone. And then the support will be the budget. Okay, so we will proceed to the business execution plan milestone. So what milestone? So there are things that you need to adopt for any company development to develop a new product. So we have prove your concept work both technically and as a business. You have to, that's the first milestone that you need to do. You prove your concept work both technically and a business. So let's say for example the addition that you made just a few weeks ago. That's a concept work. Now in order for you to give the details of your concept work, we need to use a model. That is what you did about the business model canvas. In a business model canvas, the ideation that you have in your mind will be actualized or conceptualized through the use of the business model canvas. In the business model canvas, in there you will know how are you going to market your product, what are the channels that you need to do for you to commercialize or to advertise your product, and then how are you going to do with the resources and the fundings that you need to get in order for your product or in order for your app or in order for your services to be accomplished. Okay, that's what business model is all about. And then you have to finish your design specification. So finish your design specification, that would be in relation with the features of your services or product. And then create a working prototype. The prototype that I notice in your ideation, that is when you do like a login details or a dashboard of your so-called startup. These are actually working prototype. When you see prototype, it's not yet the final version of your services or your startup. It is actually a test run project wherein it is open for debugging or it is open for critique so that you can make it more polished. So raise a capital. So in order for you to produce the final version, or in order for you to launch your services or your project or whatever business you are thinking, you need to raise a capital for you to be able to go with all the expenses that you need to give in order your project to be realized. We have ship a testable version of your product to your first customer. So once your concept was already applied into was already into application, and then you have the working prototype only, and then you have the money, you need to create a testable version wherein it will be mura siyang free taste ba. Let's say for example, if you have a new product, you give it to your, as simple as, let's say you're baking a cake, and then you need to test if the one that you made is delicious enough for it to be commercialized. So you distributed it to a group of people, and then let's see if they like it. So if they like it, you can reproduce more. But if they have remarks on the taste or whatever it is within the product that you are serving, at least there's room for improvement. So same with the startup or any other technology version or product. You need to at least make a test run for you to be able to know if this will work, or if there are any things that you need to improve with. So ship the final versions of your product to the customer. So this is actually uh, the 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 almost the polished product that you need to launch very soon to your customers. And then reach the break even point in sales. So if after you ship, or after you launch the final version of your product to your customers, then that would be the breaking point if the product that you are endorsing, or the product that you are creating, will actually work, or murag makagat basa-basa. Okay, so this milestone, if you are making a new product, this is actually if you're making a new product, includes the budget required for it to be reached the target date. So if you're going to make a project soon, if you have a software development subject, you will find it very organized, since each milestones that you have to make will have a target date. Let's say for example the one, prove your concept work. So the target date for this is, let's say, good for 1 week with this specific month and year. So each milestone will have its equivalent target date for you to be able to keep it tracked with the time. So each milestone also considered to have, or required to have, a budget to make it um, realize. Okay, so business execution plan task. So after the milestone, we have the task. So the task is, they're actually considered and put into consideration the many other tasks that most businesses would require. So incorporate your company. When you say incorporate your company, you have to gather all the requirements for you to be able to build a company. If there's a need for you to rent a space, so you have to lease office space. Contract 3 key vendors, you have to set up an accounting system. This is actually good for businesses that's really step up na siya. But if it is just small scale with like 2 or 3 employee, then maybe you can downgrade this task, or most businesses task, downgrade it into a simpler one. But since for representation, I will just continue with what is the statement listed here, indicated here. So set up an accounting system. It is really important for you to set up an accounting system, because that is where you can see the flow of the money, the going out and the going in of your money. So that is also an important. Hire a lawyer. Yes, it is important for you to hire a lawyer, most especially uh, if the type of business is actually corporations, or the ownership of the business. It's important for you to make it legal. And then file legal and tax documents. So when you say file legal and tax document, if you're making a startup, if you're making software or any development that regards to technology, you need to file for an intellectual property, of course, because once you have the ideation and you make it an application, a startup, and you make it an application, you need to file for an you need to file for a intellectual property, because once you launch that and then someone copy that, if you are not able to, or if you didn't apply for an intellectual property, then you have no right to complain. That's why before you launch a product, you make it a possible that you file for a legality, or you file for an intellectual property, and then buy liability insurance. This is for the security of your business. And then design a logo. It is important for you to have a logo, since logo will represent the reputation of, or will represent your business. So let's say for example Facebook. Facebook is actually, the word is really catchy because the text is really owned by the Facebook. So no matter what words you are writing, as long as you copy the logo or how are you going to represent it, still it's actually stand, that logo will actually bear the description of your business, so whatever it represents. And then create a website. Nowadays it's really important for you to create a website for your business because most of the people are actually online. So that's why it's important for you to have a website, most especially if your business is on the technology side. And then we have the task. Now in order for you to realize, we have the task are usually used by yourself and your team. So the task, most especially if you're a comsci, when you're making a software or when you're making a program, each each procedure that you are going to make, that is what you call task, that you need to comply at a certain target date. Okay, so let's say for example a task. So some tasks may need to be broken down into additional tasks. So let's say for example, if you're starting a landscaping company, when you say landscaping kanang gardening, it's not just a simple gardening, but when you go to a hotel or when you go to a high-end subdivision, there's a landscape there. It is not just a simple gardening, it is actually for business. Okay, so if you have a landscaping company, it's not really required for you to have a website, but it will be an uh, added points if you have the website, because the channeling of your business will be more wide because you have a website. Whereas if your business is the central of your business is online, you really the website is really one top priority as your requirement, like an e-commerce. Let's say for example your business is you're selling or buying something on the internet, and then you have no what we call tangible asset wherein you can represent it to people. So you need a website for you to be able to actualize, or for you to be able to realize your business. So it also require more attention to details. So if your business is more on the e-commerce, or the central operations is online, or the central operation is by using a website, you need to choose and register a domain name. Again, just a reminder or a review of a domain name. A domain name is when you say www.facebook.com or www.twitter.com, the domain name is Twitter or the domain name is Facebook. Select a web host. There are a lot of available web hosts online. Some of it are actually free. You can use it, but when it's free, there's no guarantee for you to have it for a long time. Okay, select a payment plugin or services. So if your business is on e-commerce, you need to uh, select a plugin wherein it will be a Mastercard or Visa, wherein your website can accept payment, or um, can can accept payment through credit card, through uh, debit card. Okay, so we also have hire a graphic designer. Well, how is it important to have a graphic designer? It's really important for you to have a graphic designer, since your website is actually your representation of your business. So the more your website is organized, the more it is good for the eyes of your customers, the more sales you are going to have. Finish the homepage, of course. Some of the website that we visit are actually, some of it are under construction. So all the menus must be complete with all the information. Let's say uh, uh, the management team of the website, the product that you are selling, the FAQ, and so many other things. Okay, so we also have create the first sales landing page. Yeah, that is one more important. If you have that landing page wherein first sales of your product will be listed, set up an analytics. Analytics is actually the procedure. Analytics is something that you can call, mm, it's something that you can call, let's say for example, if it is actually a procedure wherein uh, it will be your guide. It will be your guide. It is something that measure, it is something that measure your advertising or measure your channeling, the return of investment, that will keep track your business. Okay, and then we also have, where is it? Okay, so we also have a digital marketing execution plan. So when you say digital marketing execution plan, that is where your how you're going to commercialize, or how you're going to use a channel of your, to use to channel, or to channel your business. What will be your strategy, most especially if your business is more on online, or if your business is more on using the internet. So we have, these are actually the resources that is available online if you intend to do that. So email marketing. So instead of sending letters offline, when you say when you have the tools for you to be able to send your email uh, into many recipient at once, you can use these tools. We have the Mailchimps, a Weber, etc. There's a lot of uh, available online wherein you can, it's actually a spam type, wherein one same email, or one same email letter sent to thousands or hundreds of recipient or email addresses. It is a spam, but it is a legal way, because you are actually paying an amount for you to be able to use that tool. So that is an email marketing. Example for that is those that are listed there. We also have social media marketing. I know when you're using Facebook, all of us are having have Facebook, and then when you browse your timeline, there's a lot of advertisement about a certain product. So you can actually do that. And then in Facebook, there is also a feature in Facebook where you can register your business. You can, in fact, you can actually buy an ads for you to market your product. There's a certain ads that you need to buy, and then through that ads you can flash your business in the timeline of the members of the Facebook. So in the social media, you can either present your topic, or no, present your product or services through Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. Those are the available social media, those that are famous when it comes to uh, sharing your product. And then we also have search and display marketing, or the SEO, the search engine optimization. So when you search a certain word in the Google, the top 10 that will flash in your dashboard, or in your computer, in your laptop, those are actually paying for it. They're actually they're paying for it, for them to be the top 5 or top 10 when it comes to that keyword. And we also have video marketing. Video marketing are those YouTube, Vimeo. Like every celebrity now, or every people are actually using YouTube for their income generation or whatever, because you can earn millions in YouTube, 6 digits, 7 digits, and so many other uh, ways for you to be able to have a huge income in Facebook. So when you watch Facebook, just like before, like long before, when you are watching a certain video in YouTube, you can actually watch the video in YouTube like spontaneously. But right now, from time to time, there's a pop-up advertisement. Like you can skip this ad, or some of it are actually you have to finish the ad before you can continue with watching your video. And we also have, excuse me for that. And we also have mobile marketing. So when you say mobile marketing, so that's Google Map. You can actually use Google Map, and I think this mobile marketing refers to using Facebook, no, using Globe or Smart, where you can receive text when it comes to product sales, and so many other services. And we also have part two, the business plan. Business plan is something like a research wherein it is structured. There is an introduction. We have the management team, the owner of the business, and then the business structure itself. So we'll just have to run through with it so that we can finish this early. So we also have business concept. So the business plan is the primary parts of a business plan. What's inside the business plan is actually three. We have the business concepts, the marketplace section, and then the financial section. So when you say business concept, this is it represent what kind of product or services you're offering. And then the business structure. When you say business structure, those are the people who are involved in that business. So that's the business concept. The business description, what's your selling, what your business is all about. When you see marketplace section, this is more on what kind of customers you are offering your product. Let's say your business is for the age bracket like 21 to 35, or it's way below that, or it is over that age. So that is a marketplace section. Now, before, Facebook is actually good for the millennials only. They say that the millennials started 1980 up to what age now? But the marketplace section actually for Facebook is that all across all ages, because even your lolas or even the kids below 16 have actually Facebook. Well, it's not allowed for them to do that, but some of it are actually doing that with uh, regardless of what age. And then we also have financial section. So when you say financial section, this is more on the financial or the fund or the money that involved in the business. So to go further, we also have the elements of business plan. So the three is the part, and then this one is the elements of the business plan. This is quite long. So business description. So when you say element of the business plan, this is the specific part of what is inside your business plan. Business descriptions is uh, it describes the business or the services you're offering. When you see the mission statement, every business or every product has its mission statement. Like here in the school, you have to memorize the vision, the mission, and the goals, and the quality policy of the school. So that is where the mission statement. It is actually a guided principle of the business or the guided principle of that establishment. And then we also have the business overview. So when you say a business overview, this includes the business plan, a summary of the current state of the venture, the current state, the legal structure of your business. It's like the overview. And then we have the product and services. This is talk about uh, the description of your product, the features and the specification. The market analysis is those that what kind of competition you are having, your business, where it is situated, why did that your business is situated in that specific location. So through that uh, you can actually analyze what kind of customers you are referring to. Kasi we also have market characteristics. So when you say market characteristic, it is more on the emphasis of the location, the history, or the competitiveness of your product or services. So let's say for example the location. So if your product is more on the gadget, or it is more on uh, the target customer is more on the urban or the rural, so that is the location wise of your business. Of course, if your business is the characteristic of your business is more, it will be fitted more on the urban area, then you have to look for you have to have a feasibility study wherein your business will actually more marketable, because the people who lives there around that area can afford your product, something like that. Okay, then we also have let's say for example in the market characteristic, there are actually some buildings for lease that you cannot offer the same product with your in the same area, There's actually like that as well. And then we also have target customers profile. That is the profile of your customers. And then we also have the competitor assessment. And then we also have, under the competitor assessment, we have a market share. We have relationship with your customers, advertising the plan, price, distribution, so on and so forth. And the marketing plan, we also have the products and services. The pricing of your product or services is really important. It is the most critical thing because it measures the value of your product. Your product must not be too expensive, but not too uh, low price to maintain the decency, or to maintain the uh, the decency of your product. Okay, and then we also have the promotion, the operating plan, the ownership, and the management. The ownership and the management, that actually says the who owns the business, who are assigned in the production, the one who make the one who make the product, or who are the people who are what are the teams who are assigned in the market area, or in the marketing the product, and who are those admin people. Resources and production. So when you say resources and production, this is more on the hiring of the employee for a certain position or for a certain department. Production method, that is how you're going, what is the procedure of your production. So let's say, for example, your production is more on the food. So what is how are you going to produce your food? So that's the koan, that's the procedure. And then we also have legal issues. So when you see the legal issue, that is where the intellectual property comes in. And then what kind of product you are selling, or what kind of application you are actually producing. So if it is a trademark, if it is a food, if it is a patent, or if it is a utility model, that was all of that was discussed in the previous video. And then we also have the compliance. When you see the compliance, this is more on the permits, the business permit, and some other legal permits that you need to have for you to operate your business. We also have the financial plan, the executive summary, and then the type 3 is the type of business plan, or the part 3 is the type of business plan. The mini plan, the presentation plan, the working plan, and then the what if plan. So these are the type of parang research plan of your business. So when you say mini plan, this is more on a small venture companies. When you say presentation plan, most of the presentation plan are, of course, with the use of the PowerPoint, or many other presentation tools. The working plan are those software tools that you are going to use in order your business to operate. We also have we also have what if plan. The what if plan are what we call the option B, or the option B, or the uh, if this will happen to your business, what will be your strategy? So that is it. That what's what if plan. Part 4 is the forecasting the plan. Forecasting the plan is more, I just want to make it quick. The forecasting for the plan, it is more of the 3 or to 5 years business development plan. In any type of business, you need to have a 3 to 5 years development plan in order for you to see the progress of your business. So let's say, for example, in a school, in 3 to 5 years, we have a development plan that we will offer a new program. Let's say a Bachelor of Science in Accountancy, or medical courses, or whatever it is. When you say a business, so in 3 to 5 years we will expand to other place. We will have other branches. So that's actually what is forecasting the plan. You're actually foreseeing the future of your business. So that's it. I know it's quite fast because the topic is quite too long, so I hope you'll be able to follow me. And then if you were not able to follow me, please read and study this topic. And then I hope that if you encounter any questions or any problems along the way, please let me know so that I can guide you and I can assist you. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you soon, hopefully. Thank you.